So I've talked about doing this one thing probably the entire length of my channel. In 7 years I've been talking about this, but this has helped me simplify my life and make me feel at peace, and that is clearing out my phone. If I don't have time before bed, then I will do it at the end of the week. When it comes to smartphones, we tend to hoard a lot of things in there, especially when it comes to text messages, emails, photos, videos. We have a bunch of web browsers opened up. We have a bunch of apps on our phones, a lot of apps opened up. So I like to clear out my phone. If I have time before bed, I will clear everything out, have a nice fresh phone for the next day. Or if I do not have time before bed, I will do it at the end of the week. So I try to make sure that I have some type of time to clear out my phone, because I know if I do not, then my phone will start to become very slow. And also I will feel very anxious and unorganized because I don't like my phone filled with things that I don't really need. Same thing when it comes to our home. I like to have the bare minimum, especially for myself. I like to have the bare minimum. And that's exactly how I treat my phone, just like how I treat my home and my wardrobe and our closets and the kitchen. I try to make sure to only have what we need. So same thing goes for my phone. If you haven't tried this whole situation, please give it a try. You will feel so much less anxious, and you will just feel more at peace with having a nice fresh phone to start the day. And I know I'm gonna get questions on what do I do with important things on my phone if I don't want them on there. I always transfer the important stuff to an external hard drive. I have 2 terabytes, which is more than enough room for myself. So I have a lot of important documents on there. I have a lot of pictures on there. And my phone, actually I have my phone beside me right now and I will show you guys. I'm not joking when I say that my phone empty. I have no photos whatsoever. When it comes to apps, I only have their bare minimum when it comes to apps, and I usually have my phone just like this, very plain when I open it up. I've showed my phone tour plenty of times before, but I always make sure that I'm emptying out my phone before the next day or before the new week. And just like I mentioned with the phone, another thing that I would do this about, I want to say either once a month, or lately it's been once every season, because we do live a very minimal lifestyle, especially myself. So I go through what we own, and that helps me keep peace of mind. It helps me not have a bunch of junk in the house and it's just taking up unnecessary space. I will be honest, I lost this habit when we moved in together in 2020, and I just let everything out the window. Our closets were kind of jam-packed and I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to go about with living with a non-minimalist. And throughout the years, it's gonna be almost 5 years we've been living together, and I finally figured out how to make it work. So live with less and also make it work with not forcing my partner to become a minimalist. Before I get rid of something, when it comes to it being ours, I always make sure to have a reason on why we should get rid of it. So for an example, we recently just cleared out the little storage closet. I don't know what you want to call that. It's on the balcony. It's like a mini closet. We call it a storage closet. We recently cleared it out. I got rid of a lot of plant pots. We got rid of a lot of camping items. And now we just have my cat's pellets in there and a few other items. We kept our cooler, important things like that. But we both worked together, and I explained to him having those just in case items sometimes leads to a disaster or unnecessary clutter. So he had it in his mind and he was like, you know what, you're actually right. Let's get rid of the things that we do not need and keep it like that. I go through our stuff, again, I say every season. I used to do this once a month when I lived alone, and I was just starting out my minimalist journey. I have learned a lot throughout the years, and I realized that we don't need to go through things constantly, but when we do, it is such a peaceful situation, like especially the next day when you know you've gotten rid of things you don't use and you have extra space. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to like fill that space, but it feels nice to know that you have extra space in case you want to put, you know, the blankets that you've been hiding in your clothing closet or things under your bed that you don't have room for, and you can put it in that space, or you can keep that space nice and empty, which is something that I prefer. In our kitchen, I think we have like 4 or 3 empty cabinets, and I absolutely love it. Not every space in your house needs to be filled with things. Another thing that I do, and this can vary on how busy I am or how much I've used my car, and that is to clear out any trash, check the back seat on, or the trunk I should say. No one really sits in the back seat. I don't have any kids and I don't have anyone sitting back there, but usually I check the front part, the middle console, the glove box, my trunk. I always make sure that I just have what I need. And another thing that I've been trying to get into doing more is taking my vacuum, bringing it outside and vacuuming real quick. Just once a week, vacuuming, making sure that the car is nice and clean. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I used to have this persona in my head where if I'm gonna clean the inside of my car, then I need to do the outside. And you know, where I live, we do have some car washes. They are pretty far, but they are extremely expensive, and I'm not spending $15 to $20 for a robot to just wash my car. Like, I'd rather wash my car myself. So anyways, the outside of my car doesn't get as clean as I would like it to get. Usually when it snows, I will go through those expensive car washes just to get like the salt and sand off of the body of the car, because it is bad for it, especially the undercarriage. But when it comes to the actual inside of the car, that's where I spend most of my time because I'm driving. So I make sure that I throw out any old receipts. I make sure that I go through my trunk. I make sure that there's no junk back there or any little scraps from grocery shopping. You would be amazed at how much junk can accumulate in your car without you even realizing it before it's like a disaster. So I make sure at the end of the week, throw out any trash that I have in there, do a quick vacuum, and that's it. Again, it does not have to be like this pristine, you know, full detailing car situation. I just want it to be a nice quick cleanup where I can drive in peace and not be filled with like clutter and dirt. Now, going back to the whole maintenance routine, I simplified the heck out of my self-care routines. I used to do lip mask, I used to do a face mask, under eye mask, all those things, and it was a lot of money. It took up a lot of space. It added a lot of crap to the environment. So now I have simplified this, and I feel more relaxed and at ease when my self-care routine is more simplified. So a self-care routine doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, a hair mask or a face mask. It could be anything that can wind you down. Lately, I will just watch a nice Hallmark movie. Like, I will put some fresh aloe gel in my hair. My hair gets pretty dry, especially in the wintertime. It gets pretty dry. So I'll do like a fresh aloe mask, leave that in my hair for an hour. While it's in my hair, I will either have a bowl of cereal and watch a Hallmark movie and have a timer on my phone. I'll go wash it out and then come back and continue that movie. One example of my simple self-care days. Back then I used to think that I had to do, again, everything in one day. I had to do my hair, I had to do my face, I had to do my nails, and it's just not relaxing at all, which defeats the purpose of like self-care and taking time for yourself. If I'm rushing through it, or if I'm just adding step after step, then I'm not relaxed. I'm trying to actually do a to-do list instead of a nice, relaxing self-care day. It's best to just find what works for you. If you like to do your nails and get your nails done, then do that. You don't have to do everything that people are suggesting, because it's going to add so much unnecessary stress and make you spend unnecessary money. I feel like everyone can benefit from this, especially with how social media is, and that is a digital detox. Whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you spend the most time regarding the online world, it's time to take a break. I have deactivated my Instagram account. When it comes to YouTube, I treat it as a job. I do not watch any YouTubers, and it's nothing against this platform or other creators. My biggest thing is I try to keep my own peace when it comes to me doing this job and not comparing myself over and over again. You know, I've been through a lot with the online world, and I just try my best to take deep breaths these days and take long breaks from social media. The only things that I watch these days when it comes to entertainment is Hallmark movies. I find them very positive, very happy, and I don't know, I really enjoy them, especially the mystery movies. I mean, they're not the happiest, but they're intriguing to me. I did used to spend my time looking at other YouTubers, minimalist YouTubers, watching content that was very similar to mine, but I felt very down because my channel wasn't doing as good as this minimalist YouTuber or that one or this one. So I decided to deactivate my Instagram account, not delete it completely this time. It's just deactivated until I'm ready to get back on it. And also when it comes to YouTube, I just film these videos, I edit them, I schedule them, and I will try my best to get back to your comments when a video goes live. So that's kind of what I do. I just treat this as a job, and it has helped me out so much when it comes to being a little bit more peaceful-minded, if that makes any sense, or just living a more relaxed life and not focusing on like, oh my goodness, my hair is too frizzy, no one's gonna like my natural hair, my arms jiggle, like I'm still on a weight loss journey and I have lost weight and look at what's happening. I don't want to wear this. I don't want to come on camera with my pimples today. Like, that's what I was going through because I was seeing all the other content creators looking perfect on camera. I have learned taking a break has made me be more comfortable with how I am. I'm learning to embrace everything, my natural hair. I'm learning to embrace that sometimes social media isn't, even when it's your job, sometimes it's not helpful when it comes to your mental health, and it's best to take a step back and just relax and go back to it when you are ready. When it comes to the end of the month, we do like this one big grocery shopping situation. We usually go together and we work as a team in the grocery stores. We both want to be in and out. But when it comes to grocery shopping, the one thing that I do to make our life, well, two things that I do to make our life simple. One, I deep clean the fridge and freezer and the whole kitchen. I do pick up here and there during like the month, but when it comes to wiping down the fridge, we make sure that we're out of everything before going grocery shopping, just so we're not wasting food or money. I wipe down the fridge at the end of the month. I get like a bucket. I have this bucket that I purchased from Target. I fill it up with warm water, a little bit of unscented soap, and I will just use a microfiber rag and start wiping everything down, the freezer too, and making sure that everything is nice and sanitized and cleaned. I go through the cabinets. So by the time we come home from grocery shopping, everything can get nice and sanitized, like the grapes, the apples, I sanitize everything, and then I put it in a nice clean fridge. It just works out that way. It's creating less stress for myself because before I used to go grocery shopping and clean in one day, and it was just so stressful because we usually go to like 3 to 4 different stores depending on the deals, and it can be pretty stressful. It's your entire day grocery shopping and cleaning, and I didn't want to do that. So I do cleaning first, and then like within the next couple of days I will go grocery shopping. And the second thing I almost forgot, making a list. Having either a permanent list or make a list, golden. We split the list in half every time we go. He'll grab the fresh produce, or I will, or vice versa. Like, I'll grab the dry stuff, he'll grab the fresh, or he'll grab the dry and I'll grab the fresh. So it just works out that way so well. I feel like we have our grocery lists and situation down packed now, and I actually enjoy grocery shopping and I don't dread it as much as I used to. And the last thing that I started to do for a more peaceful life is to take one day at a time. These past 4 years, almost 5, I've been trying to find myself again regarding like my financial situation, my weight, and many other things as well that I don't really talk about on camera. And I would just constantly fear the next day, or fear the next week or the next year, and I didn't take one day at a time and appreciate today. So I am learning to do that more. I'm learning that even if it is a bad day, it's okay. Things happen. It is what it is. I'm learning to not soak in it like I used to. And this has helped me out so much, especially with having the negative mindset that I was having, regarding finances, weight gain, my job. It has helped me out so much, because even though when things aren't working out, I try to just appreciate the small things, and I try to just appreciate where I'm at right now, like at this time, whether it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock at night. I try to just take one day at a time instead of like always worrying about the future. And I feel like this is what's helped me out a lot, with obviously not crying as much as I was and not feeling bad about my current situation, but instead feeling more empowered to keep going and feel more at ease to keep going.